So now that we know what are the examples of the basics of copywriting and how we can use it, we're going to ask how we can become an effective copywriter to get our point across and not also to make sure we persuade our audience in the way that we want them to go. So here we go. I want to ask ChatGPT how to be an effective copywriter. Simply put, if you Google this, you may have to search through 10 pages just to find a good example. But you see, ChatGPT simply gives me the answer. So let's go ahead and read what ChatGPT has to say. So it says to be an effective copywriter, it's important to have strong writing skills, which ChatGPT will help us with. So if you're a beginner copywriter, don't worry. You have the smartest person on the planet at your fingertips. So don't worry, everything will be all right, and a good command of grammar and language. So if you're writing in a different language, it may be a little bit more difficult. So, that's but you can ask ChatGPT to translate some of your text. So what you can do, and we'll touch on that a little bit later, is you can write in your native language and ask ChatGPT to translate it into Mandarin, or any other language, and ask it to, you could say it to write in a more friendly manner and write it in a more professional tone. Just let ChatGPT know what you're trying to do and it'll do it for you. But again, we'll touch on that later. In addition, there are a few key things you can do to become an effective copywriter. So number one, understand your audience. So if you have a website that's made for sewers and flower people, you want to make sure that you use flower type jargon to make sure that the message appeals to them. So it's important to know who you're writing for so that you can tailor your language and message to appeal to them. Right. So know your purpose. So if you're writing to just make blog content versus writing to convince people to buy this certain item, you have to know the type of jargon you're using and the purpose for writing. You may want to use more keywords if you're writing just to blog versus more persuasive talk if you're writing to convince people to buy a certain item. So that's just something, what is your purpose when you're writing, and start with that, and then construct your writing in a sense that you can do that. So use strong headlines. A strong headline will grab the reader's attention and give them reason to keep reading. Did you know that 95% or 90%, don't quote me on this, but 90% of people only read the headlines and believe that? So it doesn't matter if you write a big headline and then the entire text contradicts that. 90% of people only read the headline and believe it's true. So it's extremely important to have a good headline and then base your body of the paragraph off the headline. So use a strong headline. Keep it simple. A lot of times when we're say if you're a smart person, if you're buying this course, you're definitely a smart person, haha. But we tend to want to show how smart we are. I'm guilty of this too. We tend to want to show how smart we are by using big words and the new word that we learned the other day. But a lot of times I learned that the definition of a smart person is being able to explain a complex topic in an easy, simple to understand way. So if you're a rocket scientist and you explain it like rocket science, yeah, you may sound smart, but you're not being able to explain your point in a way that regular people are able to understand. But if you're a rocket scientist and able to explain it as simple as the ABCs, people will say, oh, okay, well, that makes total sense. So you may not sound as smart, but the definition of a smart person or the genius, I believe, is being able to explain a complex topic very simple. So keep it simple when you speak. Use storytelling. People love a good story. It makes your story very memorable. So if you can lead with the story and lead that story into your desired outcome, you'll have a 2 times more engagement and emotion towards your topic and what you're talking about. Test and revise. So that's simple enough. Just revise and test, different ways that you can do it, and make revisions are needed to improve its effectiveness. So if you realize this thing wasn't that effective, test and try again, testing in different styles. So lastly, know your style. So as a copywriter, people are going to buy you. It's less about what you say, but more about how you say it. So if you have a very unique style that can get people to engage and laugh and grow to connect with you, that you'll do a lot better than just writing some generic copy, and and going about it that way. We all have a favorite artist or musician or um, book that we like to read, and it's because the author, wrote it in a particular way that connects with us. So, whatever your style is, just develop it. It's unique. So you may say, well, this style is better, or that person's style is better, but no one has yours particular style. So develop your unique style. Use your funny little jokes that you like to use, and this will help you stand out and make you more memorable. So that's it for this topic. This is how to be an effective copywriter. Let's go on to the next.